Welcome to Hobart. This way. Hey guys, welcome to the Lens Cup Chronicles. My name's Amanda, and if you've ever looked at a map of Australia and wondered what the island was on the south coast, well, it's Tasmania, and we're here with the best 5-day itinerary for a first-time visitor. Hobart is the capital city of Tasmania, Australia's Apple Isle, and the island has a population of around 570,000 people, with 200,000 in Hobart. It's a 2 to 3 hour flight from most of Australia's east coast cities and boasts some of the country's best coastlines, wineries, national parks and native animals. First things first, logistics. We hired a car for the first 3 days to explore the beauty beyond the city. Trust me, these activities are recommended and you can't visit Hobart without a little exploring beyond the capital city limits. Collection from Hobart Airport and return 3 days later costs around 300 Australian dollars, but it's intended to save us just as much in private tour fees. We hired a Toyota Corolla with unlimited mileage. Tonight we drove to Swansea, and that was actually to minimise our drive for tomorrow, which is 2.5 hours, Freycinet National Park from Hobart. We have a lovely beachside cottage overlooking Great Oyster Bay and the Freycinet Peninsula, which hopefully we'll see through our window tomorrow morning. And then in the evening, we head back to Hobart Central, where we'll base ourselves for the rest of the stay. If we're lucky in the morning, we may even see some whales, dolphins, seals, or eagles. But time to put our feet up and relax for now. We'll see you in the morning. Morning guys, we're heading off at 8 AM off to Freycinet National Park, one of the most beautiful parks in Tasmania. Hearing the waves lapping at the shore as we woke up in our cabin was divine. It's a 1 hour car journey for us to Freycinet National Park. Let's hit the road. Around the Tasman Highway en route to Freycinet, and it's so clear why Tasmania is well known for its gourmet produce. We've already come across a honey farm, cheese shops and multiple wineries, all set amongst these beautiful rolling green hills. Well, Well, a brief stop here at the visitor centre right outside Freycinet National Park, where we have to get our park permit. So each vehicle has to get a park permit for the day, $46.60, and that covers for up to 8 people per car. We are off now after picking up a little backpack and some bug spray. Our first stop is at the extremely picturesque and very romantic Honeymoon Bay. Part of the reason this area is so magical is that all of these bays have the incredible backdrop of the Hazard mountain range. That is actually what they're called. They are these gorgeous rose-coloured granite mountains that frame this entire landscape. It is simply breathtaking. Down by the water here, it's so peaceful, and there are camping grounds around in this region. If you do love to camp, you can wake up with this as your backdrop. There's also one of Australia's most renowned resorts, slightly higher in the price tag, called Sapphire, and that is a lodge that looks out over this beautiful bay. We got pretty lucky actually with our view this morning, and that was across the bay. We can see it from here. Greeted by this cute little wallaby. Be really careful not to touch these little guys. Some of them are quite tame because they live in the national parks, but don't feed them, don't touch them. Just look at them, take photos. There are various walking tracks departing from Wineglass Bay car park, so that is where our trusty little car is parked. We are doing the Wineglass Bay Lookout track, which is roughly 3 kilometres return, around 1.5 hours. Let's see how fit we're feeling today. If you are feeling enthused and you have the time, you can actually walk onwards down to Hazard's Beach, a beautiful beach, and down to Wineglass Bay as well. These various tracks will take a little bit longer, usually around 3.5 hours, again depending on fitness, and the one to Wineglass Bay is around 6 kilometres return, so a little bit longer. Definitely pack some snacks if you plan to do that one. It's such a lovely day today, blue sky, lots of sunshine, and hopefully it stays that way. Scheduled for a little bit of rain later on. The pathway to the top is easily walkable and will suit most walkers, with beautiful spots along the way to take some photographs. The views here from Wineglass Bay Lookout are absolutely glorious, and today is pristine. We can see all the way across from Wineglass Bay to Hazard's Beach in the little isthmus or neck of the mountain range. Wineglass Bay is obviously named after the shape of this bay. It looks exactly like a wine glass, this beautiful smooth curve, but sadly there's a little bit more to it. In the 1980s, this was the region where there was a huge whaling industry, and they would bring in a whole heap of southern right whales and slaughter them in the bay. And unfortunately the blood turned the water red, entirely red, and so it looked like a glass of red wine. To this day though, there has been a lot more regeneration and remigration of the southern right whales, and you'll likely see them if you hang around here at the right time of year. We've been a little bit unlucky today, but really loving being outdoors on a beautiful day. I've had to strip off various layers because it's quite warm with the sun out, even though it's the middle of winter. Just a quick 10-minute drive from Honeymoon Bay is the Tourville Lighthouse, and this has got spectacular sweeping views across the ocean with a lovely little ramp track right up to the lighthouse. Just a quick stop on the itinerary for us, but definitely well worth it. Wow! No way! Oh my gosh! Blue whale, 33 meters. How are you enjoying the Freycinet Peninsula?
Freycinet.
Freycinet.
Yeah.
Time for some oysters?
Yep.
Let's go get them. After staying overlooking the Great Oyster Bay last night, it seems only rude not to try some of these suckers out for real. Loosen it up with a fork and throw it back. Slippery and good. Very delicious. Big thumbs up. Cheers.
Good.
I am now tucking in to my #1 favourite food group. Scallops. Fresh from the farm, straight to the plate, and down the hatch. Absolutely excellent, really fresh and delicious seafood. Now on to a special destination that was recommended to us by a local. Friendly Beaches. That is literally the name of this beach. Friendly Beaches. There is not another soul in sight. This is such a locals beach and it's usually desolate, we've been told. It is so white. I mean, the sand looks like snow. It is so beautiful and so rugged. We're just going to perch ourselves here for a while. It's a really long stretch of sand, so if you do want to go for a nice walk and be the only ones on the beach, you have a high chance. I don't know if you can hear me over the roar of these waves, but I love being on beaches where there is not another person in sight. You have got to come to Friendly Beaches. You'll definitely feel more friendly, I promise you. Tassie, you're full of surprises. Loving it. I am quite surprised by the weather. We have not had a drop of rain and it's winter in Tasmania, the closest state of Australia to Antarctica. It's been really pleasant and warm actually. Winter is not a bad time to visit this beautiful state. Not just from what I've experienced on day one, but from what the locals have told me as well, it's actually a little bit quieter. There's all the same things to do, and because there's a lot of gourmet foods and wines and produce to try, a lot of that's indoors, but the outdoors is still so beautiful as well. And it's got that brooding, semi-haunted kind of vibe when there's a lot of cloud cover, but there's still so much sun, which I'm discovering today. And check out these blue skies. We are really enjoying the rugged, raw, pristine nature of this gorgeous state island. I wasn't sure this day could get any better, but we actually haven't even been to a winery yet. One that's been recommended to me is Devil's Corner Winery, and that is where we're off to next. Well, sadly we arrived at Devil's Corner at 4:03 p.m. and they shut up shop at 4 p.m. So we've had a bit of a look around the premises. It looks like a lovely place to come and have a wine tasting, but unfortunately we won't be able to do that today. Farewell, Devil's Corner. We will have to find another winery somewhere else. Our tasting is the Schönberger, which I've never tried before. Very floral and quite, fruity, a little bit of pear, absolutely delicious. A 2-hour drive now, onwards to Hobart.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hobart's a little bit rainy and we are walking down by Constitution Dock. We did time the rain super well, not that we had any control over that, but as we arrived it started to rain, so we had such a great day.
Right, let's get in there and
There's
some beer.
it's open. Pan-fried stripy trumpeter. The fish is called a trumpeter, so let's try it out. It looks magnificent. It's a white flesh fish and it's so flaky. It's very fresh. It's super tasty. Win. Good morning from a rainy Hobart. Not too cold, just a little bit rainy. We are off to one of the most beautiful natural spectacles of this island. It's actually an island off of the island. It's called Bruny. We have our own little car that we're going to take across on the ferry. Tasmania is known as the Apple Isle, so it would be almost rude not to try one of these special delicacies. That was juicy. Very crisp, delicious. We've made it to the Sea Link ferry terminal at Kettering, a 30-minute drive thereabouts from Hobart, and it's a bit of a woolly day today. There's a little cafe here by the water's edge just before getting onto the ferry. Loads of people stocking up on hot coffee, but at least the water looks pretty calm, so hopefully it's not too choppy on the ferry. We're aboard the ferry now and we have a 10-minute journey across to Bruny Island. You can actually come on board the ferry as a walk-on passenger if you don't have a vehicle or don't plan to bring a vehicle across, and there's a nice little seated area for you if you choose to do that. When you buy your tickets for the ferry ride, it comes with this free Bruny Island map and suggestions of things to do. And there's a lot of things you can do. Obviously some of that will be limited for us today because it's raining, but there are some lovely walks and there's a lot of food and drink options. This is North and South Bruny, so there's a lot of distance to cover. Pays to have a little bit of an idea where you'd like to see before heading across. And the website, the official website, has a lovely one-day itinerary you can follow. Seems like everyone just gets on the 8:30 AM ferry because most of the places in Bruny Island don't open until around 9:30 anyway. So we've just started our tastings. It's raining, you can probably see the water dropping all around me, but we're going to have an indoor day today, scooting around in our car, trialling the various produce. If you do plan to come to Bruny Island and it's a lovely day, there are some really great walks to do and some really great sights if you're a photographer. Anyway, let's get into the Cheese Co and the Beer Co at Bruny Island for some more special treats. A great day for tasting.
That's right. Yeah. So this is just one of the best cheese in Australia at the end of last year.
Oh wow.
It's a 12-month-old raw cow's milk. So it's only pasteurised. That's how we place water for it. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Creamy and a little bit salty in this one. A lot of salt.
Hazy golden with a smooth bitterness and fruity hop aroma balanced by earthy cereal sweetness. So it is a breakfast beer.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
So that's the Odio, 1 day old, the George, the C2 and the Saint.
It's the creamy one. Good? What was that? I didn't hear you.
No.
We had actually planned to get lunch a little bit later on our trip, but we saw the cheese board that another customer had bought and we could not go past it. Cannot wait. This place is so amazing and the cheese is delicious. Highly, highly recommend. So, interesting fact. The whey stout on the beer paddle at the Beer Co in Bruny Island is very creamy, and the reason for this is that they actually use the leftover whey from their C2 cheese and add it into the mix when they're creating this beer. So you'll notice that it has a very creamy texture and is absolutely delicious. From a Taramine high to cocoa. Let's check out the chocolate factory. To the victor go the spoils. We have chocolate coated coffee beans and Turkish delight. Just pulled up on the side of the road to show you some of the beautiful little bays that you can expect to see on a rainy day or on a sunny day. The sound of the waves is so calming, and there are so many birds around. They're all having a cracking day despite the weather. Bruny Island is really peaceful and such a lovely escape from the city.
Family-run business, we like to keep her in mind. So, life and soul of the party.
This is the RD Sparkling Rosé, named after the winemaker's mother. Strawberries and cream on the palate, apparently. Very dangerous drink. Oh, that is good. Definitely a dangerous one. Well, the sun is trying its best to break through. It's now 1 p.m. and we're near the isthmus, or the thinnest part of the island, which is known as the Neck, and we'll be checking out the lookout point. Wasabi flavoured oyster. Bottoms up. That's got kick. Well, that's the end of the exploring for us here on Bruny Island. We are 15 minutes away from the 2:30 p.m. ferry. Decided to drive up to the highest point of Hobart and Tasmania, Mount Wellington. Now this is 1,270 metres above sea level, I believe. It's actually higher than Table Mountain in Cape Town, and we are almost at the top here with these incredible pinnacle structures around us and getting ready to explore. It is much colder up here, but it's not raining. It's starting to get misty because we've actually got a cloud floating above us. My advice, if you're coming to the top of the mountain, would be to take a walk around it and even stop on the way up, because some of the best viewpoints of the city are 360. We're literally standing in clouds at the minute. There's a new one that passes by every few minutes. You can actually hike to the top of Mount Wellington. A lot of people do that, and It's going to take you around 3 to 4 hours depending on how fit you are. We decided just to drive to the top because it's been freezing and it's been raining, so we wanted to maximise our opportunity to see Hobart from above. And actually a lot of South Tasmania. It really has got quite a huge and far-reaching view from up here. Believe it or not, this is the famous Hobart view I was telling you all about. Every now and then a cloud will roll on through. Wait, where'd you go? That ain't no city town view. If you do come on a cold day, there is every chance that this cloud and fog is going to be obscuring your beautiful view. It is so cold. That cloud came out of nowhere. My feet are like icicles, my fingers are numb. Winter in Tasmania, beautiful in its own way. So we're going to head back down now and I think find a warm tavern or somewhere we can just defrost. We'll see you at the bottom of the hill. Saturday morning can only mean one thing. The Salamanca Market in the fleeting rain. You're gonna have to use your imagination a little bit on this one, folks. It's raining pretty heavily. I've left Matthew behind with the umbrella just to take a quick walk through. This is one of the largest markets in Tasmania and it's full of so many little artisan craft shops, honey, tea, whiskey, leather goods, clothes, anything you could want really. It's huge and it's set in Salamanca Place, which is a very old precinct near the docks, near the wharf, and some very old buildings as well. It's lined by some old sandstone buildings where the produce from the port used to be stored. Let's go check out a few more stalls, then we're going to move on to somewhere a little bit more indoors. Taking a quick breather and rest from the rain inside the deli right next door to the Salamanca Market, where I have my eye on this 450 gram triple cream free. Amazing. In Hobart on a rainy day, make your way through to Cascade Brewery. This is Australia's oldest brewery, oldest functioning brewery, and it's a bit of a drive, 15 minutes from the city, but we're in the warmth, we've got a heater behind us, and we find ourselves here with a tasting paddle. Starting off with the lager. Very good. What a good choice. Cascade for the win. I'm not sure there's anything much better than heading to the cinema on a rainy day, which is what we've just done. And tonight I've booked a really lovely restaurant called OG, just a few minutes walk from our hotel, one of Hobart's best fine dining culinary experiences. Okay. As it turns out, we've just walked for 20 minutes in the rain to find out that I made my booking on the wrong night. So we will be visiting OG tomorrow night, and instead we've now had to make a contingency plan somewhere on Elizabeth Street. But there's so many different restaurants up here, I think we're going to be in luck. After a little faux pas of my restaurant booking tonight, we found ourselves in this beautiful, cute, quaint, intimate little place called Miyabi. We are starting with a miso soup, naturally, and coming up is the takoyaki, my very favourite octopus balls. Love them. They have these really quirky moving onion pieces. I don't know if you've ever tried this before, but the top always has to move or it's not real takoyaki. Wow.
This hotate is from Japan, Hokkaido. So this is a special one.
Thank you so much. This morning we are walking down Elizabeth Street Mall on way to Elizabeth Pier, and that is because we are doing one of my super anticipated events in Hobart. We are going to the Mona Museum. There is an option to take the ferry from the docks to the Mona Museum, and we are going via the Posh Pit, which is an option you can do on board. We can have champagne and canapes and be treated like royalty en route. I'm just going to say this before we get on board the boat. The Mona Museum is designed to be a little bit provocative and obscene, so try not to be offended. I'm not actually sure what we're going to come across, but each of the installations changes quite frequently, and it is designed to create a little bit of a reaction within.
Gin.
Thank you. Just show your tickets at the door as you get through.
Next up is in Posh Pit. Thank you very much. Easy will look after you.
Wow, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many do we have today?
Two. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'll get you to jump in between any of the couples, or you're welcome to sit on the red table.
Okay.
You sitting this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go here.
Please feel free to move around the ferry and use handrails where possible to avoid breaking your legs or face. This is also a non-smoking, non-vaping, zero bong tolerance vessel.
Thank you. That's great.
Enjoy, guys.
On our way. And the recommendation is to start from the very base. So we're walking down into the bowels of Mona Museum. We finished walking around the various exhibitions in Mona and it's quite confronting. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of really dark exhibitions here. There's families taking their kids around, so I guess it just depends what you do or don't allow your children to see. But personally, I think there's a lot that could be quite offensive to many people. In any case, it's very interesting. It's one of the highlights that's listed on almost any Hobart tourism page. So I think it's worth checking out if you're at all curious, but don't say I didn't warn you. It took us around an hour and 15 minutes to walk our way through the various levels in the museum, and now that we're finished, we plan to relax in one of the various restaurants on site. Let's go check out Marilla Wine Bar. Guys, we found ourselves inside another Irish pub. It's one of our favourites, and if you've been watching my channel long enough, you'll know that Matthew and I have a bit of a competition. Whenever we go to an Irish pub, whoever finds the toucan first, the original symbol for Guinness, doesn't have to pay the first round of drinks. So we are furiously looking around. We've seen almost every other Guinness paraphernalia, just not a toucan.
All the other paraphernalia.
The Harbour Monster.
Tasmanian ale.
Take a pint.
Yeah, I'll have a pint of the Cascade Lager.
Smaller, yeah, thank you. You didn't find a toucan, but you're still paying the first round.
Yep.
You're a good man. We've actually found the owner of the pub and we asked him where the toucan was because we couldn't find it, and obviously it's only a real Irish pub if you have a toucan, and there's so much other paraphernalia here for the Guinness brand that we just really needed to highlight to him that he needed to have a toucan. Anyway, he decided he was going to Google Guinness toucan bird and print off a picture of a toucan and put it behind the bar. Woo!
That's the best ever.
Look at that!
There we go.
You do have a toucan. You're the best manager.
You've got to find a place and so blue tack or something, tack it up on the wall.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, perfect tack, yeah, a little to the job done.
Fantastic. Flying high.
Brilliant.
Now, Irish Murphy is a certified Irish pub. Yes!
We have made our way to Manky Sally's, which is the brewery associated with Mona Museum, and we're tasting a paddle, and it's come on this incredible little table tennis bat. There's actually no table tennis table here to use the bat on afterwards, but they do promise it's in the works. Anyway, for now we are tasting some of Moobrew's finest. Cheers. Well done, Moobrey. Licensed hotel in Australia, the Hope and Anchor Tavern. The oldest pub in Hobart, in Tasmania, the oldest licensed in Australia, and we actually found a toucan. It is not an Irish pub, but we found the toucan finally.
Hello.
And tonight I got the booking right. Let's go to OG.
Aku terbang nah.
Our last day today in beautiful Tasmania, and we have woken up to some sunshine. I cannot quite remember the last time we saw the sun here in Hobart, but we are super happy to have it today. And what better way to explore Hobart on our final day than a walk in the beautiful Botanical Gardens.